to Jeremy in Friendship. What's going on, Jeremy?
Not a whole lot. How you doing today?
Doing good. What do you have for us?
Well, like I say, I usually agree with a lot of things you say, but you couldn't be more wrong with this one. I mean,
Really? Why is that?
If you look back at his history, he's not a very upstanding citizen. You know, he's done some pretty stupid things. I'm sure he's not the only one in Wisconsin who lives out in the country who's done some pretty stupid things that you wouldn't want your kids to know about. But at the time, it seemed like maybe a good idea, as long as nobody else is watching. You know, but just the first time he was arrested, you got to think about, he had 16 plus alibis. You know, people we signed affidavits of where he was at the entire time. Yet you got one upstanding woman saying that it was him. No physical evidence. And you have a Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department that hates this guy because they have a personal connection to him through his cousin marrying one of the sheriffs, and she can't stand him. You know, if you ever dealt with the police department or had family marry into them, it's hit or miss. You know, the sheriff's department's a brotherhood. So if you're not on their good side, you're on their bad side.
Okay, well, hold on one second, Jeremy. See, you were saying there was no physical evidence against him. There was actually a lot of physical evidence that was present. It was actually presented at the trial.
For the rape? You know, I'm talking about the 1985.
Oh, I thought you were talking. Oh, okay.
The sheriff's department hates this guy. Now he makes a mockery of them because they're wrong. They're extremely wrong. They had chances to rectify it, you know, a couple times previously through other detectives calling in saying that they had a guy who, you know, confessed to a rape, that, you know, you probably have the wrong guy in custody. And they're, yeah, okay, maybe not. We don't really care. We want this guy out of our hair. So, you know, they were just smeared completely. You know, like I said, multi-million-dollar lawsuit that they're going to lose. You know, and Manitowoc kind of can't afford that. So then you have this Teresa Halbach thing come up where they have the opportunity to, you know, try to prove themselves that they were in the right.
We go back to the phone lines again to Nancy in Sheboygan Falls. How's it going, Nancy?
Hi. I hope I can keep it together. Okay, this is a very hard time for me every year. I have some things in common with Teresa. In this case, my father passed away. I had to call to get autotrader.com to see if I could sell his car. The woman that came to my house was talking and taking the picture, and I started to ask her questions about her job. And I thought, hey, this is a pretty cool job. I would kind of like to do that. And I asked her about it, and I asked her, when you go to other people's houses, does your company know where you're going? Do you give them a list of your clients? So if anything ever happens, you know, they know where you are. She said yes. Well, this woman turned out to be Teresa Halbach. And Avery had a junkyard, his family. My father had a junkyard. Teresa was raped. I was raped. Okay? I want to say to the Halbach family, I feel sorry that this gets drug up every year because I know how you feel. You know, I wanted Teresa's job, or, you know, I thought about going to Auto Trader after I met her because I thought it'd be a cool job till what happened to her. And I feel so guilty for doing that. And, you know, I'm grateful there's a God, because God knows what the truth is, and justice will be done one day. And I hope that Teresa will live on forever and ever.
Well, Nancy, thank you so much for your call. I appreciate that, and I'm sorry for everything that you've had to go through in life. Well, it's a very real story that we just heard, having ties to the individual at hand here. Yeah, it's incredibly sad that, you know, out of all this, you would think that we would bond together and say, look, what's important here is remembering you have a family that has just suffered a horrific loss. They just lost a young woman who was part of this family. And you would think we would all come together and say, you know, we support this family and our thoughts and prayers go out to them because of what they've had to experience. But there's a lot of people where that's not been the focus. There's a lot of people who the focus is, oh, the real victims here are Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey. We've got Ron on the road. How's it going, Ron?
Yeah, going pretty good. I'm voting Republican. Don't worry about that.
Glad to hear it.
All right. Got to get Walker back in there. The only thing I'm not believing about that is that incinerating the body. It takes 1,800 degrees. Unless he had access to propane gas, I don't believe a bonfire can burn a body. Take a dirt carcass, throw it in a fire bonfire once. It's going to take a couple days to burn it. That's the only thing I know.
I'm sorry, it was cutting out there quite a bit. I couldn't fully hear what it is that you were saying. So it was something about that you don't believe that it could have happened in the burn pit outside his residence?
Right, because it takes 1,800 degrees and 8 hours for a crematorium to get rid of a body. That's the only thing I'm not believing.
We've got Vic writing in to the John Muir Show saying, please tell me you don't actually believe the garbage spewing out of your mouth, John. I'm as big a Republican as there is, but you are dead wrong on this one, brother. And don't make this a political thing. A liberal show trying to prove their innocence. I don't care if it's left or right. These people were framed. I have family in law enforcement, and I stand behind the blue line, but Manitowoc County messed up big time, and now they have a real problem on their hands. Go back and watch the show and take the Republican goggles off and watch it for what it is. I've been a Republican for 25 years and never voted blue, but you, sir, are dead wrong. Bill, it's not Vic. Okay, it's Bill on the road.